Welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup is between the visiting Massabesic Mustangs and the Portland Bulldogs. Coming into this game, Portland's rattled off 2 straight wins, a 4-3 win against Scarborough and a 15-1 win against Wyndham. In the last game, Andrew Brewer had a big game, having a 2-run inside the park home run and a 2-run triple during that game. James Gignac also added 3 hits, and Colby Winship added 2 and 3 RBIs. So Portland definitely had a big hitting day, scoring 15 runs. So they're going to look to continue this winning streak to make it 3 in a row against Massabesic. And so coming into today's game, they're coming in with a batting order of Colby Winship, Ryan Becker, Henry Bibeau, Grant Crosby, Andrew Legier, Andrew Brewer, Mason Rang, Anthony Bisco, and Carter Page. So with Massabesic coming into this game, they've lost 8 straight games. They got their opening the season with a win, but haven't gotten one since. So they're 1-8, and so they're looking to get a bounce back. Hopefully get their second win, but they've only scored 3 runs in their last 3 games. So, and Portland's going to be a tough matchup for them, especially with Portland's hitting. But I always say that every game is a new game, and things can bounce their way, and Massabesic can get a upset win, if you want to call them the underdogs. But their work is cut out for them, knowing what's on the other side of the field. And so they'll be coming in with a batting order of Christian Becker, Matt Letelier, Brady Batson, Aaron Kiss, Dylan Gilpatrick, Zeke Rand, Noah Shaw, and Braden Marriott.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem.
Setting Portland defensively in the outfield left to right is Colby Winship, Carter Page, and Andrew Brewer. In the infield left to right is Mason Rang, Henry Bibeau, Anthony Bisco, and Grant Crosby. Behind the plate is Ryan Becker, and the starting pitcher for Portland is Liam Fay LeBlanc. Here we go for the start of the game. Leading off Massabesic is Christian Becker as he fouls it back for strike one.
Beautiful sunny afternoon at noontime here.
It's 81 out. It's a swing and a miss for strike two.
You know, it's only been 2 or 3 weeks since we've been covering home games here, and it seems like the temperature's gone up from mid-30s to 82.
Up high for ball one. It's outside for ball two. It's a 2-2 count.
Well, Maine is like Florida. If you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. It'll change.
It's up high for ball three. So Becker battling back to make it a full count. It's up high for ball four. So leadoff walk for LeBlanc. So Becker is on at first with Matt Letelier at the plate.
And we'll keep our eye on the runner at first. Halfway decent lead.
Swing and a miss for strike one. And LeBlanc is a lefty, so Becker takes off. It's a swing and a miss for strike two. The throw's not in time. So that's a first stolen base of the game. It's an 0-2 count. And LeBlanc steps off. And Ryan Becker is going to go talk to LeBlanc. It's up high for ball one. And that's fouled into the stands. Still a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike three. So the first out for Portland.
And you can see a nice crowd here. Massabesic side, Portland side.
Brady Batson up at the plate with one out. It's up high for ball one.
It's not like being on the beach on an 80-degree day, but you'll still suntan here.
And that's hit to Bisco, and he was deep in the infield and had to dive for the ball.
Well, and what a great play.
So Aaron Kiss now batting with two outs. And that's ripped to Rang, and Rang fires over, one hops, and it gets by Crosby, and that's going to bring around Christian Becker. So first run goes to Massabesic.
Yeah, it was a great play at third, but an errant throw.
So it's 1-0 Massabesic with Dylan Gilpatrick up. And Kiss takes off, and it was off the glove of LeBlanc, and it's not in time from Bibeau. So it's an infield hit for Gilpatrick.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So Zeke Rand now batting. And that's popped up, and it's in the field of play, and it's caught by Ryan Becker. So that's the third out, but not after Massabesic puts a run on the board. And so after half an inning complete, it's Massabesic 1, Portland coming up. Setting Massabesic defensively in the outfield left to right is Elijah Greenleaf, Aaron Kiss, and Brady Batson. In the infield left to right is Zeke Rand, Matt Letelier, Christian Becker, and Dylan Gilpatrick. Behind the plate is Braden Marriott, and the starting pitcher for Massabesic is Noah Shaw. Here we go for the bottom of the first. Leading off Portland is Colby Winship. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. See what Portland can do after letting Massabesic score a run. It was in the dirt for ball 2. In the dirt for ball 3. So it's a 3-0 count to Winship. It's up high for ball 4, so 4-pitch walk to start off the game for Portland. So Ryan Becker comes to the plate with Winship on at first. And it's out of the glove of Marriott. And so that advances Winship to second.
Well, now with no outs, Portland with an opportunity to tie the ball game up.
It's up high for a ball.
Yeah, it seems like the pitcher for Massabesic is having a difficult time getting the ball across the plate.
So it's a 1-1 count. And that's popped up into the infield where Gilpatrick was underneath it and had to drift backwards to get the out.
Well, that's why they make that first base glove pretty big.
So Henry Bibeau comes up with 1 out. It's in the dirt for ball 1. On the outside corner for strike 1. It's in the dirt for ball 2. 2-1 count. And that's fouled back into the stands. So it's a 2-2 count to Bebeau. It's in the dirt, and it's off the catcher, and Winship takes third.
Well,
so Portland now with a runner 90 feet away from scoring. It's fouled back. And it was in the field of play where Marriott gets the second out.
and I'll tell you, when you're a catcher and you have to come from the position you are waiting on a pitch and having that ball go up, but there was great communication because you could hear the bench from Massabesic telling him it's coming back, it's coming back. So he stuck with it.
So Grant Crosby's up, and that was another pass ball. So Winship comes in to score to tie the ball game up at 1 apiece.
Well, you know, the pitcher from Massabesic definitely has not helped himself here in this bottom of the first inning.
So Winship moved to each base on balls that were either off the catcher or by him. So bases are empty with 2 outs. It's a 2-0 count to Grant Crosby. And that's hit out to right field where Batson is underneath it to get the third out, but Portland ties this game up. And so after 1 complete, it's Massabesic 1, Portland 1. Here we go for the top of the second. Noah Shaw leading off. And Shaw checking his swing as the pitch was high. It's 1-0 count. And he did go around this time. So it's 1-1 count.
Yeah, appeal to the first base ump who said yes, he did go around.
It's up high for ball 2. So all 3 pitches have been high. That's fouled back into the stands. So it's a 2-2 count to Noah Shaw. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's the second K for LeBlanc. So Braden Marriott comes up, and he hits it to left. Winship gets underneath it for the second out. So that brings up Elijah Greenleaf with 2 outs. It's in on the inside corner, strike 1. It's on the outside corner for strike 2. And it's swing and a miss. And it was dropped by Ryan Becker, but throws down to first for the third out. And Portland keeps the score sheet clean this inning after a 1-2-3 inning. And so after 1.5 complete, It's Massabesic 1, Portland 1.
Tied at 1.
Here we go for the bottom of the second. Leading off for Portland is Andrew Legier. It's down low for ball 1. It's up high for ball 2. 2-0 count. In the dirt for ball 3. And it's fouled off into the stands. So it's a 3-1 count. And that's into left. And Greenleaf comes in and gets the out. So that's one away for Portland. And that brings up Andrew Brewer.
Yeah, and the left fielder for Massabesic got a good jump and a good read on that pitch.
High and inside for ball 1. It's fouled back. 1-1 count. And it's over the inside portion of the plate for strike 2. And it hit him. So,
Well, I think the Massabesic coach is asking, did it hit him? Now there's going to be a discussion.
and they're saying it did not hit him. So it'll be 2-2 count.
So
And now Portland coach is talking to the ump.
So now, see, this is the interesting part. The interesting part is a lot of times the batter or the infielder will always do a little bit of gamesmanship. And so, you know, it's up to the umpires to figure out if it's gamesmanship or if he actually got hit. And now he was going back to the plate, and after the talk with the Portland coach, he's going back to first. So we're gonna see what happens here. I think you could kind of hear that I believe he got hit.
And so now the Massabesic coach is talking to the umps again.
So I guess, you know, it all boils down to, and you don't want to lay it on to the Portland player who got hit, but at this point, I would guess he's the only one who knows whether he got hit or not.
So Mason Rang at the plate. It's 1-0 count. It's fouled back. So 1-1 count to Rang. And it's on the outside corner of the plate for strike 2. It's up high for ball 2. And it's just off the plate for ball 3. Brewer takes off, and it's a walk, so the throw down did not matter. So 2 base runners on from a hit by pitch and a walk, which brings up Anthony Bisco. In there on the inside corner for strike 1.
So Portland's got a run in here in the in this
high.
game.
It's up high for ball 1.
And Don says one's across the board up there. First time in 8 games.
And that's hit foul for strike 2.
So, and as we mentioned, as Don mentions, the batter is number 1, and there was 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. So we have our little games up here in the broadcast booth.
And that's hit to Christian Becker, and he fires over to first to get the second out. But that moves Brewer over to third and Rang to second. So Portland now has 2 runners in scoring position, with Carter Page coming up with 2 outs. It's in the dirt for ball 1.
And now it's the job of the catcher, the way things have been going, to make sure that ball stays in front of him.
It's up high for ball 2, and that brushed Page off the plate. In the dirt for ball 3. And that's on the outside corner for strike 1. So it's a 3-1 count. And that's ball 4. So all 3 base runners this inning have come with no hits.
Yeah, I know. Portland, here we are in the bottom of the second. It's a tie ball game 1-1. Bases are loaded and still no hits for Portland. You're right.
And Shaw is pitching a no-hitter right now.
Sorry, I'm just chuckling about that. He's got bases loaded, giving up a run, and he's got a no-hitter.
And so Colby Winship comes up with a chance to add to Portland's tally. It's 2-0 count. And it's 3-0. So Brewer's on at third, Rang's on at second, Page is on at first. And Marriott going to talk to Shaw.
And Portland's 1 pitch away from taking the lead.
And that was right down the middle for strike 1. And that was up high, so that's another walk. So Portland takes the lead.
And we're going to have a visit to the mound. Not sure if this is an early hook or a chance for the pitcher to take a deep breath. And we'll be back.
So we're back. Ryan Becker at the plate. Bases are still loaded. That's right down the middle for strike one. Forgot to mention, Colby Winship last time up got walked. So he's had 2 walks, and Becker hits it out to center field, and that's the 3rd out. So the talk that Massabesic had with Shaw worked out, and they minimized the damage from all those walks, only allowing 1 run to go on the board for Portland this inning. So after 2 complete, it's Portland 2, Massabesic 1. Here we go for the top of the 3rd. Leading off is Christian Becker. It's in there for strike 1. Last time up, got walked, had a stolen base, and scored a run. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
That was one of those, but I couldn't hold up swinging swings.
And it's a swing and a miss, and it rolls out to the field, but Ryan Becker gathers it and throws it to the first for the first out.
Well, and the fortunate thing for Becker is the ball rolled far enough out that he had a great angle to throw the runner out at first.
So Matt Letellier at the plate. It's up high for ball 1. Last time up, he struck out. This time he flies it to left, and it's over the head of Winship, and he's going to get a stand-up double. So Letellier has giving Massabesic a chance to tie the game up.
He gave his team and the fans a big thumbs up.
So Brady Batson has a chance to get the run back. And it's over the inside corner of the plate for the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's on the inside corner of the plate for strike 3. So three pitches for a strikeout.
And that was a much-needed strikeout right there.
So Aaron Kiss coming to the plate with 2 outs. Letellier on at second. Up high for ball 1. And that's a grounder to Rang. And there's no throw.
Not quite sure what happened there. I'm not sure. I would almost call that a fielder's choice because I'm not sure what he was looking at. I mean, there was 2 outs, and all he had to do was throw it to first.
So Dylan Gilpatrick up. Last time got a hit.
They have to be careful. I know they want to keep the runner on first, but if that ball gets away, we got a tie ball game. I'd almost say let him take second base and just get this batter out.
And Gilpatrick takes off, and that's going to be over the head of Page, and that's going to score 2. And Gilpatrick's going 3 and slides in there for a triple.
and he gives his team and the fans a thumbs up. Well, I have to say, two of the hardest hit balls I've seen so far this season have come in this game. I mean, way over the head of the outfielders.
So a 2 RBI triple for Dylan Gilpatrick gives Massabesic the lead again, with Zeke Rand at the plate. Last time popped up to the catcher. And that's to Bebeau, and he fires over. And Crosby gets the ball that was low, but gets it for the third out. But Massabesic regains the lead with 2 runs in the top of the third. And so after 2.5 complete, it's Massabesic 3, Portland 2. Here we go for the bottom of the third. Henry Bebeau leading things off. Last time up, popped out to the catcher. It's 1-0 count. And that's hit to Christian Becker and fires over to first for the first out. So that brings up Grant Crosby with 1 out. It's up high for ball 1. And that's hit out to center. And that's going to drop in between the center fielder and the right fielder for a 1-out hit for Crosby.
The designated hitter, number 18.
And that brings up Andrew Legier. Outside for ball 1. Up high for ball 2. Last time up, Legier flew out to left field. It's low for ball 3. And I have to say, Crosby got the first hit for Portland. Forgot to mention that. Right down the middle for strike 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Here we are in the bottom of the third, and they finally got their first hit.
And that's hit out to left, and Greenleaf comes in and gets the second out. And that brings up Andrew Brewer. Last time got hit by a pitch. Was the controversial, was he hit or was he not hit? And he also scored the run in the second for Portland. It was a pass ball, which moved up Crosby.
Almost hit him again. Definitely not intentional, but
up high for ball 2. And that's hit into right center, so that's going to score Crosby. And Brewer has a chance to go 3, and he's going to get held at third. So Portland ties the game back up with an RBI triple for Brewer.
The third baseman, number 9, Mason Ray.
And it's fouled for strike 1. Mason rang up. Last time up, got walked.
we've seen some hard-hit baseballs in this game. It's really nice to see.
It's on the outside corner for strike 2. Portland has a runner 90 feet away from taking the lead. It was in the dirt for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3, but not after Andrew Brewer got an RBI triple to tie the game up. And so after 3 complete, it's Massabesic 3, Portland 3. Here we go for the top of the 4th. It's hit out to center by Noah Shaw, who last time struck out. So it's 0 for 2.
The catcher, number 18, Bryden Marcotte.
So that brings up Braden Marriott. It's a swing and a miss. Last time up, flew out to left. It's in there for strike 2. That's ripped foul down the first base side. And swing and a miss. And Ryan Becker dropped it, and it was not caught by Crosby.
See, that's a tough one. You know, earlier in the game, the ball bounced away from Becker far enough that he had a good angle to throw it. But sometimes, as a catcher, you really need to take the angle first before you throw the ball.
So that's a strikeout error.
Yeah, he did not have the angle. He tried to throw it, but he was, you know, he's got to throw it around the runner.
And Marriott's checked on. And Elijah Greenleaf up. Last time up, struck out swinging. Checks on Marriott again.
Yeah, you'll see in the majors where, you know, the catcher will take a couple steps off the line either way before they throw.
And third time throwing over. It's fouled back. It's an 0-2 count. And Marriott takes off, and it's hit foul. Checks on Marriott again. And LeBlanc trying to get him to lean towards second to throw him out at first. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the poor bat is standing there going, when's it going to be my turn? And unfortunately, he struck out.
So Christian Becker now batting. And it's a pickoff attempt. And both throws were off.
Well, it's better to sometimes to be lucky than good. And the runner from Massabesic should have been picked off either way. But two errant throws, like you said.
And that's hit out to left. And so runners on third and first.
Oh,
Bringing up Matt Letelier.
well, the pitcher for Portland needing to dig himself out of a hole here.
It's a swing and a miss. And Becker goes down to second.
Yeah, delayed steal.
So Massabesic with two runners in scoring position. And checked his swing, so it's a 1-1 count. Marriott at first, Becker at second. Sorry, Marriott at third. It's a 1-2 count. And it's hit off of LeBlanc, and that bounced to Bebeau, and he fires over to first for the third out. So Portland gets away from letting in a throwing error on a strikeout, and they minimized what could have been a tough inning for them. And so after 3.5 complete, it's Massabesic 3, Portland 3. Here we go for the bottom of the fourth. Anthony Bisco leading off. Last time up. Grounded out to the second baseman. Peel down to the first base ump. Said he didn't swing.
Yeah, it didn't look like he swung at the ball.
So it's a 1-0 count. And it's in there over the plate for strike one. It's up high for ball two. It's in the dirt for ball three. It's a 3-1 count. And that's hit out to right, and it's fair. So a leadoff single for Portland in the bottom of the fourth by Bisco. And that brings up Carter Page. And it's a bunt. And Shaw picks it up. And he's safe.
Great hustle. Big smile on his face. Tip of the hat.
So an infield single for Carter Page. And it looks like Winship is going to talk to his coach.
And what do you think? Another bunt? Maybe?
Um,
I mean, at this point, it's a tie ball game.
Well, last time up, he was walked, which gave Portland their run in the bottom of the second. So he has an RBI on that. And so both times Colby Winship has been up, he's gotten walked. So We'll see what happens here. And it looked like he was going to attempt the bunt, but the pitch was low and inside for ball 1. And it's way inside, brushing him off.
Well, and you have to think, too, the pitcher and the team knows he's going to bunt. Just let him bunt. Maybe he pops it up.
And it's low for ball 3.
I mean, he's attempting to give himself up here to move the runners, and he's potentially going to be walked.
And it's a 4-pitch walk.
I don't understand that.
So Colby Winship's been walked 3 times this game. And so on the stat sheet, it's going to look like he was never up at the plate.
The Portland catcher, number 21, Ryan Becker.
And the coach from Massabesic comes halfway out to talk to his team. They're all in on the grass with the exception of the second. Well, the shortstop's now moving back too. So first and third in on the grass. Big wide open spots. Anything on the ground is going to the outfield.
It's a swing and a miss for Ryan Becker, who last time flew out to center field.
And, we'll even take one of those to get the lead.
And that's out to right center. That's going to score 2. So Bisco and Page are both in. So a 2 RBI single for Ryan Becker.
Yeah, hitting the top of his hat.
And so that's bringing up Henry Bebeau with Winship on at third, Becker on at first. It's outside for ball 1.
And still nobody out. And, getting back to the attempted bunt, I think are we gonna have a pitching change, or the catcher is walking back, maybe he needs some water? Yeah, catcher needs some water, so they're going to give him a break. It is, it's hard to prepare for a day like this. It's been, in the 60s, not even close to 70 degrees so far this spring. And then all of a sudden we get hit with an 80-something degree day. And
yeah, I believe this is the highest temperature so far this calendar year.
And then I think it's going to go back down to the 60s and 70s the rest of the week.
Up high for ball 2.
Just like the umpire behind the plate, the catcher has all kinds of equipment on, a heavy helmet on his head.
It's over the inside corner of the plate for strike 1. It's fouled back for strike 2.
And plus these players are used to playing their games in the afternoons, say at 4 or 6. And so you're not having the sun at its highest point.
It's outside for ball 3, so it's a full count to Bebeau. And it's popped up, and it's just close to the net, and it hits the ground before Marriott could get it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The net looks like it's, pretty tight there, but if the wind's blowing a little bit, it can throw your judgment off.
And it's fouled back.
Nope. And somebody, I think, had a little GoPro set up on the railing down there that now maybe go from a GoPro to a Go broken.
And it's in the dirt for ball 4.
Because that foul ball back into the net struck that GoPro hard.
And
Are we going to have a pitching change? Let's see.
And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change, so we'll sort out all the changes in a moment. And so that was hit by Grant Crosby, and that's going to score 2.
That was a 3-run double by Portland's first baseman Grant Crosby.
Yeah, I didn't. I may have got the hit, but I definitely got it out to center field. Nice hit by Grant Crosby.
So a 3 RBI double by Crosby breaks this game open. So Andrew Legier.
We were in the midst of trying to figure out all the changes on the field. Sorry about that.
And that's hit to left, and that's going to score Crosby.
And just like that, 4 quick runs.
So an RBI single for Legier.
Right fielder number 27, Andrew Brewer.
So a couple of changes with Andrew Brewer up. Dylan Gilpatrick comes in for relief pitching. Noah Shaw is at second. Brady Batson is at first. And Christian Becker is in right. It's a 2-1 count to Brewer. Last time up, got a RBI triple. It's a 3-1 count. And it's a walk.
And still nobody out. And 6 runs across this half inning.
So Mason Rang comes up with Legier on at second. Brewer on at first.
Your attention for Portland, batting for Rang, number 4, James Gignac.
So it's not Mason Rang, it's James Gignac. It's on the outside corner, and it's by Marriott, which moves the runners over. So it's a 2-1 count. It's a 2-2 count. And that's ripped down the right field line, and that's going to score 2 more for Portland. That brings in Legier and Brewer. So Gignac gets a 2 RBI single, and that brings up Anthony Bisco, who started off this inning with a single. So I believe this is the second game in a row that Portland has batted around the order. It's a swing and a miss for strike one. It's a 1-1 count to Bisco. And Gignac checked on.
8 runs across, still nobody out.
And that's hit to Batson, and he's safe. And that's why you hustle down to first base. And he slid. So that continues the inning with no outs.
That's it. That's the name of the game in baseball is hustle.
With Carter Page up. So Bisco has 2 singles in the same inning. Up high for ball 2.
It's been a tough day for Massabesic pitching.
And that's over the head of the Shaw. And that's going to bring in Bisco. Or that's going to bring in Gignac. And Bisco moves over to third. So Page with a RBI single. With Colby Winship.
We're going to have a pinch runner.
No, it looks like
pinch hitter, number
Aiden
2.
DeMillo is going to bat for Colby Winship.
Batting for Winship, number 2, Aiden DeMillo.
It's up high for ball 1. And it's swing and a miss for strike 1, so it's a 1-1 count to DeMillo. With Bisco on at third, Page on at first. It's a 2-1 count. On the outside corner for strike 2, making it a 2-2 count. It's outside for ball 3. So it's a full count to Aiden DeMillo. And that's hit past Letelier for the 10th run of the inning for Portland. So an RBI single for DeMillo. So that brings up Ryan Becker, who last time at bat had a 2 RBI single.
So basically everyone coming up to bat has already batted once this inning.
It's in there for strike 1.
So when you say last at bat, Seth, that means last at bat this inning.
Yeah. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. It's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's the first out of this inning.
The Portland shortstop, number 33, Henry Bebo.
So Henry Bebeau comes up. He's fouled back. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Last time up, Bebeau had a walk. And that's hit out to center. And that's over the head of Kiss. And runners don't advance much, just a base where they had to be held on. So it's an error by Kiss.
Well, you know, in the coach for Portland held up the runner because there was no need to come home, really.
It's in there for strike 1 to Grant Crosby, who last time got a 3 RBI double. It's in the dirt for ball 1. And that's ripped out to right, and that's over the head of Becker. And that's going to bring in all 3 runs. So a 3 RBI triple for Crosby, who now has 6 RBIs on the day.
Was it? And it's 6 RBIs in this inning, isn't it?
Yes.
That is crazy. So number 2 is coming into pitch. And let's see if that's going to be the only change. I think that's the only change. Number 2 is coming into pitch, and we'll take a break.
So here we go. Back. Andrew Legier at the plate.
The Bulldog batter is the designated hitter, Andrew Legier.
In the dirt for ball 1. A couple changes. Connor Levesque is pitching. And Dylan Gilpatrick is back at first. It's fouled back, so it's a 1-1 count to Legier. It's up high for ball 2. It's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, whatever he intended to throw, that ball definitely got away from him. A balk.
So that's going to bring in Crosby. And Legier still has to bat, where it was a balk. And so
Yeah, not quite sure what he was thinking, but
so it's a 2-1 count still. It's a 3-1 count now. And he gets the base anyway. So
The right fielder, number 27, Andrew Brewer.
and Brewer rips it out to right. And that one hops onto the wall. And So Andrew Brewer doesn't move. So that brings up Mason Rang.
The third baseman, number 9, Mason Rang.
And good sportsmanship by Portland not advancing the runners. And that's going to bring in Legier. So Rang with a RBI single.
Well, and as Don just pointed out, yes, it's at this point everything's good sportsmanship, but that double was actually a ground rule double. It bounced over the fence.
Now batting for Portland, number 17, Liam Winship.
In the dirt for ball 1. And Liam Winship is at the plate. Ball 2.
And I have to say, this is the quietest I have ever heard a crowd here, because this is a tough situation for the Massabesic team to be in. What once was a 3-3 ball game has definitely got out of hand in this inning.
And it's ball 4. So walk to Liam Winship.
The center fielder, number 3, Carter Page.
So Carter Page now up. It's in the dirt for ball 1.
And they do have a mercy rule in high school ball, but you need to get to the visiting team's 5th inning, which...
And that's hit up the middle. And that's going to score 2.
And the visiting team's 5th inning will not take place until they can get 2 more outs here on Portland. And the scoreboard is had to revert runs back to the prior inning, and now they're going to have to if there's any more runs, it's going to have to revert back to we're in the 4th inning, and they had to go back to 9 runs in the 3rd, and now they're going to have to revert to runs in the 2nd if they score any more.
So it's over the plate for strike 2. In the dirt. It's a 1-2 count. It's up high for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count. And it's swing. It's hit foul. Oh, it remains a 2-2 count to Aiden DeMillo, who got an RBI single last at bat. And it hit off his helmet, so
DeMillo wipes his hands on the dirt and rubs his helmet to kind of, just rub it away.
So Ryan Becker now up. And Becker's the only out this inning. 1-0 count. In there for strike one.
And you know, this is where
In the dirt for ball two. 2-1 count.
and you know, in the sport of baseball, I don't know how you let up not wanting to hit the baseball.
It's a 2-2 count. And it's strike three. So, if you can believe it, Ryan Becker has both outs being strikeouts. And that hits Henry Bibeau, which brings in another run. And Liam Winship scoring the run.
So if they scored 18 runs this inning,
They have.
holy smokes.
In there for strike one to Grant Crosby. And that's hit to Letelier, who flips it to Shaw to get the third out, but not after Portland puts 18 on the board. So after 4 complete, it's Portland 21, Massabesic 3. Here we go for the top of the fifth. It's Connor Levesque pops it up to Henry Bibeau. Couple changes. Aiden DeMillo is in left. Regan Buck is in right field for Portland. Ethan Terrio is at second. Liam Winship is at first. And Dominic Moffo is pitching, and that was ground out to Rang.
The first baseman, Dylan Gilpatrick.
So Dylan Gilpatrick comes up with 2 outs.
There was Levesque was the first batter, popped up.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So the first out was pop out to shortstop, and then a ground out to third. And that's a pop up to Terrio, who drops it. So an error on Terrio.
Don, did you get the first out?
Now pinch hitting number 17, Dana Newton.
So Dana Newton pinch hitting. It's ball one. So swing and a miss for strike two. So 1-2 count. And it's a swing and a miss for strike three. And so Portland in back-to-back games have 10-run ruled the two teams that they played.
Yeah, this was a tough game for Massabesic. It was just one very, very bad inning.
And coming into this game, Massabesic knew that Portland had the lineup to hit, especially in the last game. And they couldn't keep Portland down for too long. And, I mean, what are you going to do when Portland's been a really good team this year, especially where they ended it off last year, going into the playoffs with momentum, and then coming into this season knowing that they were a really good team.
Yeah, and like you said, the bats have come alive the last two ball games, and it's not always going to be this easy for Portland, like the last two games. But what they need to realize is they can still hit the ball. So whether you 10-run rule someone or you win 2-1, you still have to hit the baseball, and you're going to face some really good pitching. Anytime you could face some really good pitching. And so you got to take what you've learned the last two games on hitting and pull it forward to future games.
And I mean, Portland, they scored 18 in the fourth, and it almost seemed like it was just tough on the pitching for Massabesic. There was multiple extra base hits, and I mean, it's a tough loss for Massabesic, but it's just one of those games where you just have to put it behind you and move on. Nothing you can do about it. I've heard multiple players, especially in the basketball sense, Marcus Smart and Giannis both saying that you got to just let your emotions go out the window and forget about the games you lose. And this is coming from professional basketball players. So it's good advice for younger athletes in any sport, just to move on and not regret what you did or didn't do in this game, and get it in the next game. But after this game, Portland wins this 21-3 in a 10-run rule game. Saying so long. This has been a production of TV3 Portland Public Schools, saying good night.